Warding is one of those classic answers to the question, how do I get better? Warding, taking responsibility, and carrying harder. But warding is actually a pretty complex thing. You have to do more than just buy wards like everyone says. There are some of you out there who probably think you know everything you need to know about warding, but I guarantee you that there are also some of you out there who actually don't. So here's everything you need to know about warding. Let's get started with top lane. So top laners have two major spots that they should ward. If you're on blue side, you should ward here, and if you're on purple side, you should ward here. There are only 4 entrances, or exits, depending on how you look at it, for each team's jungle, and one of them is covered by you. Be sure to keep that warded as much as you can. If you do have it warded, you should be safe, but make sure you're careful about lane ganks. Some junglers will camp top in an attempt to help their side snowball and gain control of the top half of the map. But if you have their entrance or exit warded, though, you should be able to tell just based off your opponent's play whether or not the jungler is going to try something cheesy to gank you top lane. But if you really need to, you can also ward one of the lane brushes as well. There is a bit of an exception here if you're on blue side and your opponent is pushing hard against you and your enemy jungler is a Lee Sin or a Nocturne, someone with a jump or series of jumps that they can use to gank you with. You may want to ward this brush right here. There is a good chance that, especially in lower elos, the jungler will assume you haven't warded or gotten the chance to ward, and they'll just wait in this brush for an opportunity to dive onto you. Lee could shield to his teammate and Q you, while Nocturne, of course, could just ult you. So be careful about that if you're in this very specific situation. Mid laners, you have 2 entrances to the jungle that you should keep warded, one here and one here. Make sure that you communicate with your jungler so he can hopefully ward one of them and you can ward the other so you don't have to buy wards for both for the entire game. But if you're on a bit of a budget, or if you're just flat out lazy and refuse to buy more than one ward, try to keep the top entrance warded and stay towards that side of the lane. This will allow you to be pretty much completely safe from ganks. They can't gank you from top without you seeing them, and if the jungler ganks you from the bottom side, you should have plenty of time to see them and just run away. Also, if your support wards dragon, there's not too much the enemy jungler can take advantage of without being seen by a ward. They can't gank you or bottom lane, and they have to take a very specific path if they want to invade your jungle without being seen. But obviously it is just best to keep both sides, both entrances warded. Support, you have 2 places to ward if you're on purple side, and arguably only 1 if you're on blue. If you're on purple, make sure you keep the enemy's jungle exit warded here and in addition to dragon, so you'll be able to see anything that the enemy jungler tries to pull bot lane. They won't be able to gank you from anywhere other than the lane, and they won't be able to pull any sort of stunt like a level 6 fiddle dragon solo. If you're on blue side, you only technically need to keep dragon warded because it also covers the enemy's jungle exit, but if you do, make sure someone wards the jungle entrance up here near mid. If you only ward dragon and leave that entrance unwarded, a jungler can go around through your jungle without being seen by anyone and come around behind you, getting an almost guaranteed kill in most situations. It's also important to take note that depending on what division you're in or what your rating is, you may or may not want to keep a lane warded. If you're in a league where people are often fighting for brush control or where junglers often take advantage of lane ganks, then warding it will obviously be in your best interest. In summary, the goal of all this is just to keep the main objectives warded, keeping your team safe from ganks in the most efficient way possible. There are other ways to ward and other things you should keep warded, especially as the game goes on, like red buffs, blue buffs, major, jungle, choke points, and baron. Heck, even if you have a big enough lead, just ward the entire enemy jungle. But this should hopefully get you started and keep you safe from ganks or any cheesy strat that might catch you off guard. The rest is up to you and how your team wants to play, but keep all that in mind as a base and you should be more successful in games. Thank you very much for watching, good luck in solo queue, and have a wonderful day.